welcome to my channel, Study with Apple. My name is Kaylan, and in today's video, I'll be reacting to my 2020 AP exam scores and giving you a review, like a holistic review of the AP course that I took last school year as a sophomore. It is currently 5:08, 5:09-ish right now, and scores probably just came out at 5 a.m. PST. So I'll be reacting to that right now, and yeah, let's get to it. So basically my friend says that the website is actually down. I'm not too sure, so I'm just gonna log in anyways. If not, I have earlyscores.com open, so I'll just log in, I guess. I'm kind of nervous, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Cool. Okay, well, I'm in. I don't know if I can access my score yet, so let's just see. Yeah, see, an error occurred retrieving user data. Okay. Am I surprised? Not really. But at the same time, I'm kind of disappointed. But it's fine. If it doesn't load and I don't get my score, then I literally woke up at like 4:45 for no reason. So I'm hoping I get something out of this, but you know, content. I'm kidding. So it's taking forever. I'm just gonna log on to this. Yes. Well, this is taking forever. Yeah. College War servers are down. Are you kidding? Oh my god. I'm going through all stages of grief right now. I literally sacrificed my life, my sleep for this, only to not get scores. This is kind of tragic. I didn't expect this to like happen. I bet you Twitter is just exploding right now. No one can access their scores. But I'll just keep on loading the page, I guess. I feel like they should have anticipated this, but at the same time, again, I'm not that surprised that this is happening. Pretty sure this is gonna go the same way for SAT scores, but yeah. Well, this is sad. Okay, so while that's loading, I'm just gonna try to log into the Early Scores website again. Oh! I got a 5! Wait, I'm so happy! That's so good! A 9.something%, that's so good! My stress. I'm so happy. I worked pretty hard towards the end of the school year, even with COVID, especially for my tests. I'm really glad that all my work paid off. Yeah. Well, I'm really happy. Hopefully that's the first of many 5s that is to come for next school year. I'm taking like a zillion AP classes next year, but yeah. Now moving on to the holistic review of the AP course. See you there. Now I'll be giving a holistic review of the AP course that I took last year. I just finished my sophomore year of high school and I took one AP course and it was AP World History Modern. I'll be dividing this holistic review into 5 different subtopics. The first subtopic is course load. Second is assessments. Third is resources that I use to succeed in this class. Fourth is the AP exam itself, which is the 2020 edition. And 5 is just overall comments that I have for the class and just advice for you guys. So first, course load. As with any AP history class, there's just so much notes involved in this class as well. Even though it's seen as one of the easier classes, easier AP history classes compared to AP Euro and AP US history, the amount of notes that you have to take is still relatively the same. So the important thing about these notes is that not only do they have to be comprehensive, but they have to be good. And what I mean by good is that these notes aren't just for you to look back and review for your test, because you won't have time to review your notes before your AP exam or your test, because you probably are balancing different aspects of your life, such as extracurriculars and at-home life, so you just won't realistically have time to go over these notes. So the purpose of these notes is so that you can organize your thoughts by yourself neatly in your head and comprehend all the information and try to memorize it as much as possible. So for me, typically, I would write notes and it's organized in a way so that my brain can organize it. So it's not aesthetically pleasing or anything, it's just a lot of scribble because I'm just trying to write down my notes and just like memorize the information as much as I can. Of course, note-taking is very different for different people for different classes, but this is just how I personally did it and how I see the course and how I am able to do well in this course. Yeah, as I mentioned, you realistically don't have time to go over your notes again, so you need to be able to comprehend the information as soon as you read it, because you need to be able to take this information and critically analyze it and apply it to different periods throughout the curriculum. And the only way you can do that is to actually comprehend the material. You can't just be a robot and just like memorize all the dates and stuff. That won't help you. What will help you is that if you connect different events and different timelines and like kind of have a compare and contrast. That's how I viewed this course, and that's how I was ultimately able to do relatively well. So my biggest tip is do not procrastinate and manage your time wisely. Yes, this is a very cliche piece of advice, but this is so very important because you have so much notes to take in such a short amount of time and you have different commitments as well. So by time management, I mean you need to be able to block your time daily, how much notes you're going to take. That's something that I didn't do and something I regret and something that I'm working on for next school year, and I want you guys to recognize the need that time management is so important. This is also coming from me because I'm always awake 5 a.m. like the day before it's due, trying to like rush everything and not comprehending what I'm writing. So just avoid the mistakes that I made, because I made the mistakes for you guys, so I can tell you guys how you can improve and how you can do well next school year. My second piece of advice is kind of bizarre, but very applicable in this case. Be awake. You cannot take notes at 5 a.m. the day it's due, because that just won't happen. And of course, pop quizzes will happen and you won't understand because you're just so busy just trying to copy down stuff from the textbook. What I ultimately recommend is that right when you come back from home, make your AP class like your priority in homework. And make that your AP history class, because AP history class, you're more likely to write more comprehensive notes rather than, for example, AP calculus, because AP calculus, if you get the concept, you can apply it anywhere. But AP history is a little bit different. It's something I'll be going over in my second subtopic, which is assessments. So yeah, those are my two biggest pieces of advice, and I hope you take it to heart because that's something I'm working on currently so I can do better in AP US history in my junior year. Now moving on to the second subtopic, which is assessments. So assessments, at least in my school, include tests, quizzes, and writing assessments. So tests and quizzes are subjective to different schools, so I won't be going over that, but I'll be going over the writing assessments, which is universal to all the schools. So there are 3 different types of writing assessments that was part of the College Board curriculum and in my curriculum, which is FAQs, which are short answer questions, DBQs, which are document-based questions, and LAQs, which are long essay questions. So SAQs are relatively easy because they're very direct questions. Sometimes they're yes or no questions, and you have to be able to answer that very directly and just provide evidence from like knowledge that you memorize. So it's very straightforward. SAQ is one of the most straightforward questions that you'll ever receive on the test, because even multiple choice is not very direct or straightforward, and it's something I'll be going over after talking about the writing assessments. DBQs is probably my biggest strength, so I was very relieved when I heard that we're only being tested on 1 DBQ, because DBQs, you don't need to have too much background knowledge. The thing about DBQs is that you're presented with several different documents, you have to be able to analyze them. Sometimes they're passages, sometimes they're images, and sometimes they're maps. It really depends, but you need to be able to practice them very efficiently. Again, my biggest recommendation is to find a writing style for your DBQs. DBQs, in order to score a near perfect, you need to kind of develop a system or template in your head that is almost always foolproof. So what I'm saying is that you need to have like a skeletal model of what you're going to write, and just be able to add the meat or the content for every single different DBQ. I'll probably go over how to write a DBQ for this class in a future video, but this is kind of a more holistic review, as I said, so I won't be going too deeply into that. So LEQs. LEQs is probably one of the last things that we went over before lockdown happened, at least in my state. So we only did 1 practice LEQ, and it was okay. It was kind of mentally exhausting because it's such a long essay that you need to memorize all the information and be able to apply it, so you can't just pull something out of your butt or anything, you know? So it's just mentally exhausting after a while, so I didn't do as well as I would have done. Again, that may also be because I'm out of practice and I just haven't had enough practice, but it's something that we weren't even assessed on for the AP exam, so I didn't worry too much about it. Again, this is a different story for maybe next year students, so I'll probably go over how to write an LEQ in a different video as well. Now, multiple choice. Yeah, I hated multiple choice, mostly because you're either very good at multiple choice or you're very bad at multiple choice, and I am kind of on the bad side, mostly because I just didn't understand I just didn't know how to do multiple choice. And you won't understand how the multiple choice questions are modeled unless you actually encounter them. For example, you think every stereotypical multiple choice question would be like, what happened in so-and-so year? Or like, who killed so-and-so, right? That's what I thought too. And then I took my first test, and then it was like, what the heck? So basically, these are called synthesis questions. Synthesis questions is being able to logically analyze what is going on in a certain passage and be able to apply that information to different areas or different time periods in history. For example, I would read a passage and you need to be able to kind of recognize the main idea. Like, I already struggled with the first step, right? But if you're really good at reading, like for example, the reading section in the SATs, this is probably not going to be an issue for you. So back to just assessments in general. If you practice, I feel like most of this is just practice makes perfect. Like, yes, again, this is very cliche, but like, I personally didn't even believe in that. I was just like, oh, if you're good at it, you're good at it. But it's really not. You need to be able to like pour your effort and time into this class. So probably this is one of the biggest time commitments that I had in sophomore year. And I had like, for example, debate and stuff, but like this was always my first priority. And if you cannot make this class or any AP class your first priority, you're probably better off not taking this. If you have any questions on how to like write a DBQ, LEQ, again, I'll be probably making a video on that, but if you have any questions or want any tips, comment down below and I'll be able to answer them for you. Now moving on to our third subtopic, which is resources. So I bought a lot of prep books and not a lot of them are very effective. Like I actually didn't crack open like at least one of them, mostly because I didn't need to, because the AP exam was just going to be a DBQ, something that I didn't struggle necessarily with. But my biggest lifesaver for throughout the entire school year was probably the School book for world history. I'll link an Amazon link to this book down in the description box below. So as you can see, I have a lot of post-its here. Ooh, wow, okay. Anyways, what I really like about this book is that it's very well organized. It probably the organization method of this book, it probably does not go with every single person who's studying this course, but it went right along the same wavelength as my brain, you know, so I was able to comprehend a lot of the information in this book very quickly and very well. My favorite features is probably that it's organized according to College Board standards. So basically, it's organized into units, and after units, it's organized into topics. Right? Something that's also reflected in Steve Heimler videos, which I'll be going over after giving a review on this book. Also, what I really like is that there's bolded words, so you guys can make flashcards on Quizlet and stuff. It's just very well organized. There's a lot of comprehensive maps and a lot of compare and contrast tables that are very useful as study guide options. There's also practice DBQs, LEQs, SAQs, and multiple choice, which I used. They do not include answers, however. If you want answers to the assessments included in this book, you need to ask your teacher, who probably has access to a teacher's key. But other than that, I really recommend this book. It was a huge lifesaver. It really saved my butt in first semester when I was kind of struggling with this class. My second recommendation is to purchase your school's textbook for AP, for your AP World class. This is my school's textbook. I can't really give you a review based on like the different textbooks because I simply just haven't read different textbooks. But I mostly recommend you purchasing a textbook because you're able to comprehend the information not by just like reciting or just rewriting stuff from the textbook word for word, but more like just highlighting directly onto the book. So that's why I really like having a physical copy of any type of books, and I do not like taking notes on like tablets and stuff because it's more hands-on and I'm able to comprehend things better. But of course, that's just me. I also recommend getting a physical copy because if you're busy and you have time, like if you're busy as in you have to go to like debate meets or like I don't know, like mock trial, I don't know, that's just my thing, but like there's a lot of time to kill in between rounds for those kind of things, so I would just kind of whip out my textbook and I'll just take notes in my free time or any downtime that I have so I can stay productive. I buy these textbooks for around $10 to $20 on eBay. Of course, that's different again for different textbooks, but at least for this textbook and many of the textbooks that I bought for my future classes, I bought them all on eBay for around $10 to $20 in relatively good condition. Again, eBay is probably one of the best sites to buy used books without without emptying your wallet, because I know textbooks can go up to like $200, which is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, also last resource, my absolute favorite, Steve Heimler. Thank you, Mr. Heimler is literally a god, okay? Like I just don't know how to express my gratitude for his channel because he's literally a lifesaver. Like I mentioned in the School book, he organizes his videos according to different units and topics, which is very convenient because you can correlate it back to the College Board, like the actual College Board curriculum, which is in a PDF on the website. And you're just able to just connect things. And he organizes his videos in such a way where he has graphics, and that's very engaging. Also, he has, his videos are super short, so you can just put it on like 1.5 speed and just be able to like take notes the day before the test. It's also very comprehensive. kind of, by comprehensive, I mean it goes over the main points, which is probably very good if you're short on time for the AP exam. However, if you're taking a test for your own school, that's probably not the best way to study or cram before a test at school, because your school test probably assesses you on your textbook material more than the holistic like actual AP like nuances, you know. So basically, right before a huge test, at least in my school, I would study off of my textbook here and AMSCO and kind of review with Mr. Heimler when I have time. But my go-to would be probably my textbook. But for the AP exam, which I'll be going over for the next subtopic, I just mainly use Steam Heimler and this AMSCO book. Again, I'll be linking all the resources and just everything in the description box below, so make sure to open that for more resources. Okay, number 4, the actual AP exam itself. So whoever's watching this in the future, hey, this is 2020 when COVID-19 happened and everything was on lockdown and everything was in chaos. So basically for this year, at least for AP World, we had 1 DBQ, and that was your entire grade. So basically if you suck at DBQs, you were kind of out of luck. And I was one of the more fortunate ones who were more, I just had a bigger strength in DBQs rather than MCQs, which I absolutely suck, as I mentioned. So for the AP exam itself, AP World was on the second week on Thursday, so most of the technical difficulties were already fixed by them, thankfully, so I did not run into any technical difficulties. To study for the actual test, what I did, as I mentioned, I used the AMSCO book, and I created a study guides for each topic that we were assessed on. From what I remember, we were assessed on until Unit 6. By the time school was let out, at least for us, we were on Unit 8, so I just had to review first semester material and the first 2 months of second semester material for me, which was very convenient because, yeah, I just did not have time to like go over everything because everything was chaotic. Anyway, again, Steve Heimler videos were very amazing and just very, very helpful for studying for the AP exam. So basically school was let out in March and we took the test in May. So between those months, there was around 2 months. However, I did not start studying until the week before the test, and that's after panicking for like a whole month for not studying. Instead of actually sitting down and studying, I was just panicking. So yeah, AMSCO is probably a very good review book, and Steve Heimler is a very great YouTube channel for you to just cram everything and just be able to cram information, because you don't need to know like specific details compared to your actual school assessments, and in that case you should use your textbook. What I also recommend, and what I also did the week before the actual test, is I took a lot of practice DBQs. What I did is that I timed myself. I forgot what the timing was, but I think it was like 45 minutes to an hour, I don't remember. I would time myself and I would ask my teacher for sample DBQs, where he sends me just different documents and just different questions for me to answer so I can test myself. I did not really score myself because scoring again is very subjective, and not even your friends can score for you, or you can't even trust people on Reddit to score stuff for you. So what I did is just I wanted to see if I am able to analyze these documents very quickly and efficiently and be able to finish typing the entire essay within the 45 to 1 hour. Again, I don't remember the time frame. So I probably did 1 DBQ per day, so that's around 7 DBQs, so I felt relatively prepared for the actual exam and I wasn't too nervous. So again, practice makes perfect, and if you're going back to regular AP exams, this is probably going to be like, this experience is probably a luxury, because for the actual AP exam you had to think about 4 different sections, which is MCQ, DBQ, SAQ, and LEQ, and that's just really chaotic. And yeah, I think a lot of people got lucky this year because they just had to focus on one aspect of the exam. moving on to subtopic 5, overall comments that I have about this class and just advice. I found this class really interesting. Like, it's probably not one of my favorite classes, but I still found it really interesting because I really liked how I can apply different knowledge in different aspects of modern society. And it's just something that I'm super interested in, so, which is like, I'm really interested in like international relations, and democracy and stuff, and it's really cool how I can see all that being tied into modern society, as I mentioned. I did not really pay attention in class or like my notes or anything up to like unit 2-ish or unit 4. I don't actually remember, but a lot of the material itself was kind of boring because there's a lot of dates and names you have to memorize, and they're from cultures that you're not like familiar with. So if you're not familiar with the culture, you have more of a difficulty memorizing names and stuff, right? So I kind of I wasn't a very good student in the beginning of school year, but after getting to the more interesting stuff, which is starting with kind of the Enlightenment and the Industrial Revolution, that's when I was able to really click with studying methods and studying habits. So this AP course, at least for last year for me, was kind of an experimental stage where I was trying to assess how I am able to take in information and how I can apply that information for future AP courses. And it's just skills that I developed. So if you're struggling within the first few months of taking your first AP course, do not fret and do not drop out. If you think that you can't commit your time, then I just don't think that AP courses are for you. But if you know that you're able to endure this and be able to balance different aspects of your life healthily, by all means go ahead. It's very rewarding being able to get college credits and learning more beyond just the high school level. And I personally really enjoy learning, so this was a very nice challenge, even though I struggled a lot, and it's something that I don't think I'll regret. In terms of tips, I don't really have tips except for like the ones that I already mentioned in the previous subtopics, which is manage your time wisely, take very good notes, and always be awake when you're taking these notes. And do a lot of practice. Yeah, doing a lot of practice is probably your biggest bet. What I really recommend for practice material is probably just the questions in this AMSCO book, because this AMSCO book covers most of the stuff from College Board. Like, I looked over Princeton Review because I bought that book as well, but I personally thought it wasn't very effective. It did summarize a lot of the material in the beginning, like the first half of the book before the practice exams, but I just don't think that was as comprehensive as AMSCO or Steve Heimler. So I definitely recommend this book. Yeah, just practice makes perfect, and just take the practice questions and exams on the AMSCO book rather than the Princeton Review book. But if you are, if your upperclassmen or your siblings did very well using those prep books, by all means go ahead and purchase it. But again, personally, I did not find that useful, and I'm not too sure if I will purchase prep books from the same company for future classes. Okay, so that's it for the holistic review. I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. I don't know, it's kind of my first time doing any of this. But one last reminder before I log off, whatever score you get does not define who you are as a person. It's something that myself and my friends struggle believing with, mostly because we go to a very competitive high school. But as I said, your scores do not define you. So do not feel bad if people got a better score, because it's something that you worked hard on yourself, and it's something that you have accomplished, and I feel like that should be celebrated. What's really toxic is that people on Twitter and Instagram just post unsolicited photos of their 5s or 4s, and that forces you to see it and feel really bad about yourself. But I don't think it's something that you should beat yourself up for. You should instead use this as an opportunity to learn, to grow as a person and as a student for future years, and use this as a point of improvement. And I absolutely think you can improve for next school year. So again, do not feel bad if you did not get the score. If you did not get the score that you wanted, because you can always improve as a person and as a student, and I absolutely believe in you. So good luck on your future exams, and if you have any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Bye, thanks for watching.